thank you all. It's an honor to be here. Like Mayor Dumas said, my name is Olli, and I'm a student councillor out of Northern Ontario. And Kira really did want to be here, but as you know, in my generation, it's impossible to get us to go to work. In all seriousness, she would be here if she could. But we were asked to answer some questions that we thought might be asked about our student councillor program. So to get started, why did I want to become a student councillor? Now, I believe this student council position is a great opportunity for leadership within the community. Oftentimes, the high school feels like a separate entity from the township, and through this program, we can bridge that divide and have people like Kira and myself advocate for student voice. Now, I'm an athlete, I'm an academic student, I work in other extracurriculars, and I hear the student voice and I know what their perspectives are, and I try to bring that to the table through this program. I also think that this program is an excellent opportunity for diversity. I myself am a trans individual, and Kira is a young woman, and I do believe I am the first openly trans member of our town council. And this is thank you. And through the student program, because it is a one-year program, there are constantly new voices and new perspectives on the council, including myself, and it is an honor to be able to speak on behalf of the students and myself in that opportunity. Another question we were asked is what we have learned so far in our role as student councillors. Now, the biggest learning curve was honestly the process. The council meetings themselves are very formal and structured, and I was surprised by this. But they're also a very efficient system, and it was really interesting to see how efficiently and well built the system we work in is. But my favorite thing that I've learned is honestly how willing the community is to hear, or how willing the council is to hear community voice. We have sections like deputations where the community can come in and speak to the council, have their opinions heard, and I think this is a very powerful opportunity that is sometimes underutilized by the community members themselves. And through the student council program, we also have an opportunity to hear from the community, a community demographic that is often overlooked in the municipal setting, being students themselves who aren't traditionally going to come to deputations. The other thing I was asked is what surprised me most about the municipality and my role. And to be completely honest with you, I was most surprised by the amount of money you all spend. You all spend a lot of money. Now, I'm a teenager. I think that if I have like a few $100, $1,000, I'm set. That's not how it works in a municipality, apparently. For example, in Marathon, we just spent, I think, $11 million on a public works garage. I don't entirely know what public works garage is, but it better be nice because it was a lot of money. The other surprising thing was the language of municipalities. Now, like Northern Ontario Municipal Association, NOMA. There's a lot of acronyms involved in this, and it's hard to learn. There's MPAC, ROMA, AMA, ODSP, DSAB, what else? BRB, LMAO, TTYL. But it's an interesting language to learn, and what I would say is if you are interested in getting student involvement is to take the time to teach them what you take for granted, like these acronyms. That brings me to the last question I was asked, which is what advice I would give and what I would say to other student councillors. Now, I just think this is an opportunity of a lifetime, truly. It's a unique chance for students to be active in the community like a full community member, like an adult even. But more than that, I think it's an opportunity for municipalities and councils. I truly believe that young leaders are inherently optimistic. We're ready to move forward into the world for the first time, to push for the future, to make change. And I think this brings an important attitude to a council. Because this is a short position, it's a one-year term, there's a constant inflow of optimism and enthusiasm for the role that is super important, and it keeps a community focused on the future. It keeps driving them forward and creating a community and a township based on growth and the future and success. And I think student voice is a very important part of this. The other thing I would like to add is the advice that I have on creating a successful program. I think the most important first step is connecting with your local high schools. In Marathon, we're lucky enough to have one of our town councillors be a teacher in Marathon High School, so we have a connection through him. But it's very possible to reach out to guidance offices and counselors and principals to connect with them and see what students they think would be good for the role and to facilitate that connection. And once you have students, it's important to give them something to do. We like acting and being part of the community, and when we're given tasks, we're able to thrive and become part of the team and act as part of the team. So for example, last year, our student councillors were tasked with putting together information on writing land acknowledgements and presenting it to council. This gave council the opportunity to see what makes the land acknowledgement meaningful and instead of just repetitive, and also an opportunity for the students to be active within the community, talking to Indigenous leaders and their classmates. After you have that, and I would also like to say, this year we have me presenting at NOMA, which is insane to me. This is the most professional presentation I've ever done. But outside of this, also be presenting to town council on gender and sexuality. And this allows for presentations and activities done by the unique student voice. But overall, I think the best way to be successful with this program is honestly to expand it. I would love if next year's version of me, who is up here talking to all of you, was able to look out and see other young students with the same passion for their community that they have. So, thank you.
That was amazing, Olli. Watching Olli stand there, she was like nervously playing with her book and saying, I can't do this. And we said, just look out and you can do it. And as she was getting into the presentation, her hands stopped shaking. So, you know, as you can see clearly that the program works, and I think this year we're really proud of the individuals we have serving in our council from the school, but the reality is it brings the connection from us older people in the room, to the youth in our community. It really is a good, an amazing tool when you look at it, because then the youth in the community actually feel comfortable coming and speaking to you about other various issues, what's happening in the municipality, recreation and you know, policing and drug